Welcome to the Yitzchok Dov Rottenstein Tuesday night Shiur in Masechta Makkos. We are going to review the last piece of Gemorah to get to the Tosfos, where we were promised to get to this week. And we're up to right here, where my arrow is. Can you all see the arrow? Mm-hmm. You all see it? Right in the middle of the line? Omar, do you all have a Gemorah in front of you? No, okay, so we're going to follow through over here. Says the Gemorah, Omar Rava bar Rav Huna. Rava bar Rav Huna said the following. We said, so Omar Rava bar Rav Huna made the following statement. Risek Tisha Nemolim. Here's a person who crushed or ground 9 ants together. I'm talking about ants that crawl on the ground. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not aunties. Okay. Right. Risek Tisha Nemolim, he crushed or ground up 9 different ants, which of course are not kosher. Right. Right. Then the Hevi Echad, and he brings Echad Chai. He brings a live ant. The Heshliman Lekazayas, and this live ant completes with the 9 others the size of a kazayas. So the Gemara says, Loke Vav, he gets 6 separate malchus sets. Whatever the most he could get, he gets it 6 times. The maximum malchus, of course, is 39. If he can take 39, they're going to give him 39 once. They'll wait a little bit till he gets better, like a week. They'll give him another one. 6 weeks in a row, he's going to get malchus. Why 6? Hey, mishum berye. 5 of them because he ate an ant that was a complete ant, which has 5 lavin to it, because of lo seshaktu and lo setamu. You know, to destroy yourself in a disgusting way, you know, to be matami yourself because of a sheretz, because of a barrier, and so on and so forth. Okay, 5 there. The echad mishum kazayas nevela. He's going to get another malchus because this extra 1 ant that he added to the 9 crushed ants made it equal to the size of a kazayas. And when a person eats a kazayas of nevela, yechayiv malchus. Person eats a kazayas nevela. So until now, he was just eating forbidden creepy crawlers. Oh, somebody's waiting to get online. Let me get him in. Okay. Till now, he was only going to be chayiv because of creepy crawlers. Now he's going to be chayiv an additional malchus because he ate a kazayas of nevela. Now nevela means an animal that dies without any shchita. You have no shchita, even a cow, even a kosher cow, a kosher sheep, any kosher animal that dies without shchita is an nevela, certainly a non-kosher animal. Okay?
My question is, how does it combine? You have 1 whole one and 9 crushed ones. Isn't the whole one an entity to himself?
The 9 crushed ones were all nemolim, all ants, right?
Right.
But they didn't add up to a kazayas.
Right.
And it wasn't a barrier.
Right? They didn't add up to a kazayas. When I added this 1 whole one, this 1 whole one together with the 9 crushed ones made a kazayas.
I know what you're saying, but how does could the whole one stand by itself?
No, it's not by itself.
Can it stand by itself?
No, that's a separate issue. If you ate 1 whole one by itself, be chayiv, but you wouldn't be chayiv 6, only 5, right? Not 6. Here you chayiv 6 because in addition, to eating an ant, which is forbidden, you also ate a kazayas of ants.
Okay. So they do combine.
Maya, let's say like this. Let's say all the crushed ants, let's just say a kazayas, we'll give it a number, 6 ounces, 4 ounces, 5 ounces, whatever, okay? Let's say kazayas is 5 ounces. I had 4 ounces of crushed ants. When I ate the 4 ounces, if I eat the 4 ounces of crushed ants, I'm going to be chayav for eating ants. But I'm not going to be chayav for eating a kazayas in the vela because I didn't have a kazayas. I had less. When I add this whole one puts it over the top. Okay? It's over the top so that now I've got a kazayas of ants. So in addition to being chayav for eating ants, I'm going to be chayav to eating a kazayas of nevela.
Okay, so they do combine.
Yes, they're combining. Exactly. That's what the Gemara said.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
What is Beria, Rabbi, again?
Good question. Beria means a creature.
Uh,
A beria.
Even
Something that was created, like Boro.
uh,
Beria. A beria is a creature. Okay, a full-fledged creature.
mhm.
Okay?
even less than Zayis.
Well, we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
Okay, now the Gemara goes further. Okay, the Gemara goes, we'll go to the Rashi in a minute. The Gemara goes further. Okay. Rava Amar Rabbi Yochanan, that's the Girsa over here. But if you go to the side over here, you'll see it says Rabba. Okay, let's go back. Rabba Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabba said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Afilu Shnayim Vahu. Even if there's only 2 crushed ants, and that one, if it adds up to a kazayas, you're going to be chayiv on a kazayas of nevela. Okay? Rav Yosef Amar, Rav Yosef says, Afilu echad vehu. Even if it's one other one that's crushed, plus this one whole one, if it adds up to a kazayas, you're going to be chayiv for eating a kazayas from the vela. Velo pligi, and these 3 opinions, the first one, which had 9 crushed plus this live one, the second opinion that had 2 crushed plus this live one, and the last one, which is 1 crushed plus this whole one, they're not arguing because the Gemara says, when we said 2, 1 plus this one, we're talking about large.
Yeah.
Where the size of them together added up to a kazayas. Here, where we said small ants, 9 or even 2 others plus this were smaller ones. So no problem. Really, we're not arguing in numbers.
Imam.
It's not a matter of 9 plus 1 or 6 plus 1 or 1 plus 1. It's a matter of size.
Size.
It's a matter of the 2 plus 1 equal the kazayas because the 2 were big and the 1 was big, it made a kazayas. 1 plus 1 made a kazayas because they were both big. 9 plus 1 made a kazayas because the 9 were little and this one put it over the top. Okay. All right. Okay. Rashi makes a comment over here. Okay. Rashi makes a comment and he says, right over here, you see where the arrow is?
Mhm.
Yeah. Resay
Yes.
means, Rashi says, miech v'kites. He crushed and ground ubitlon mitoras beria. And he would nullify them from being in the category of a single creation, because now it's just a ant mush. Chopped ants.
Chopped ants. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, you never had a
No.
egg sandwich? This is a chopped ant sandwich.
Oh.
Ants. But
Ugh.
we don't eat them. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, there are people out there, you know. Okay. All right. Let's go further. Then he says, then he says, Mishum Kazayas Nevela, right? Because
Yeah.
of a Kazayas of Nevela, right? So he says, Shekisha Bol O who mace, because when he swallows that one ant, it dies. Wait a minute. So when the Gemorah back here said, Risek Tisha Nemolim Behavi Echad Chai, and he brought one live one, it would seem that it was Mamash a live one. Mamash a live one. That's the way Rashi seems to be saying Pshat, because Rashi says over here, Kishe Bol O, because when he swallows this live one ant, who mace, the ant dies, Omitztaref Likizayas Nevela, and it's joined together to make a Kazayas of Nevela.
When he swallowed it, he made the kazayas? When he swallowed?
He put this ant in the ant sandwich,
Yeah.
and when he chewed it and swallowed it, he killed the ant and it died, and it was joined to the kazayas of ants. Yeah. It was.
So that means he had the 9
it was like
before.
it was like a smooth peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, I was gonna add, he had the 9, that means he had the 9 before.
Yeah. What? That means what?
He had the 9 before, that's why he was.
Yeah,
it was
the 9 were together in the sandwich.
Right,
That's
right.
okay.
So he had a little bit less than a kazayas of smooth ant butter, and he
Yeah.
had one crunchy,
Chunky.
Yeah.
Chunky, yeah.
One I don't know how else to explain. Okay, one chunky. Okay, now, and the Rashi says, Afilu Shnayin, Mirusokin, even if there are only 2 ground up ants, the who, and you add this one whole one, Im Gedolinheim, Leos Kazayas, if they're so big that together they can equal the Kazayas, Ben Shloshton, between all 3 of them, right? There's no argument because each one is talking about larger size ants. Okay, based on the way we learned Rashi just now, Rabbi Osai, what was the meaning when it said over here in Rava's statement that he had Tisha Nemalim Behavi Echad Chai? What does Echad Chai mean according to Rashi? What does Echad Chai mean according to Rashi? The way we understood Rashi, what does the Chai mean?
That one was alive, no?
Mamash alive, right?
Yeah. Right.
Is there another possible interpretation of the word Chai? Yes.
Yeah.
The word Chai can also mean raw,
Oh.
but not alive.
What's the raw or not?
Because
raw ant, cooked ant, what's the difference?
dead raw is still raw,
Right.
but it's not alive.
Yeah.
In other words, if you have a steak, right?
Yeah. Right.
It's dead. The animal is dead. You're eating a T-bone steak.
Right.
From
that, yeah.
T-bone kosher?
What? I think so. Yeah. No.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, not rump. T-bone, breast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A rib steak.
Yeah. Rib steak. Yeah.
You have a rib steak.
Yeah.
What size is the rib steak? What size is the rib steak?
What?
What size is
What
it?
size?
What size? Small. I have 8 ounce.
8 ounces. Okay. It's a small rib steak. Okay.
Right there, yeah.
It's not one of the big.
No.
Big 16-ounce jobs.
No.
Okay, good. All right. We're not eating out at one of the fancy schmancies.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's an 8-ounce steak,
Okay.
and it's raw.
Yeah.
We call it chai, basar chai. It's raw meat. Right.
Right. Okay. Okay. Even
raw
said,
meat is called basar chai.
It doesn't mean it's alive. It means it's raw.
Oh.
okay.
On Shabbos, it says if you take a piece of basar chai and put it into the pot right before Shabbos, right?
Yeah. Before, you could.
Right before Shabbos, it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
it's not possibly going to get cooked right away, and you're not going to be stoking the coal. Remember, we learned that from Shabbos.
Yeah.
So
Right.
chai means raw. We have it all over the Shas. But Rashi doesn't interpret chai to raw over here. Rashi's interpreting chai to mean whole.
Whole.
Right? Alive.
Yeah. Because
Alive.
he said one whole.
Alive,
one
alive.
crush.
Alive. Rashi's saying it means alive. Because Rashi said, when did it die?
When he swallowed it.
You
When he swallowed it.
That means when you put it in your mouth, it was still alive. Right?
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to the Tosfos. Here we go. There comes Tosfos. Let's go, guys. If we can accomplish this Tosfos tonight, we will have accomplished our job. So let's take a look at this Tosfos. Now, I promise you, I guarantee you, even if you never learned Tosfos before, you can get this. Because we're going to make sure that we explain it to the nth degree. So
Okay.
let's take a look at Tosfos. Risek tes nemolim ve'echad chai. That's what the Tosfos says. If you, I wonder if I can make this larger. Wrong one. Can I make it larger? There is a way. I don't remember how. I think I know how. 1 second. 1 second.
What do you want to do? You want to make it larger?
Yeah.
Use it on the screen. Whoever has an iPad can just use your fingers to make it larger.
Yeah. But
Right?
on a computer,
I have a
you
touch.
can't.
I have a
large
touch
now.
screen. Here we go. I made it larger. Look at that.
Okay.
Very
Yes,
good.
All right.
Maya.
Okay.
I forgot I have a touch screen. I'm so
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm so used to this little rodent over here.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
Mendel Mouse.
Mendel, yeah. Okay. Here we go. Can you see it now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Nice size, no?
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay. So now let's take a look now at this Tosfos. Risek tes nemolim. He chopped up 9 nemolim, ve'echad chai, and 1 is chai. Perush. Tosfos argues with Rashi, and he says chai means shalem.
Complete, whole.
Oh, whole, not live. And I'll prove it to you, says Tosfos. Aval vadai umes. No doubt about it, this ant gotta be a dead ant. Why? Because if you think that the Gemorah meant to say a mamash chai, a live thing, im kain, if so, heich mashlem lekazayis nevelis. Oh, how could it possibly complete a kazayis of nevela? What's the definition of nevela, Abosai?
It's dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
Nevela means the animal of gepeget.
Yeah. No shit. No
Right.
sheep.
No shchita, he died.
Right.
If this ant is alive,
Right.
you can't add it to the other crushed ants to make a kazayas of nevela, because nevela is only a dead ant.
Uh-huh.
So Tosfos is arguing with Rashi. I'm not coming to defend Rashi now. You could figure out a scenario that maybe Rashi thinks it's still a live ant, but it only gets to the kazayas at the moment that it's swallowed up. I'm not going to get into that. But Tosfos doesn't agree with Rashi. Tosfos says that the ant must have been a dead ant and it's nevela, otherwise it can't add up to a kazayas of nevela. Okay, that's the first step in Tosfos. So we got the first step. Now let's go to the next step. The im tomar. Whenever you see in Tosfos im tomar, it means Tosfos is introducing a question. And if you want to say, I have a question, what's the question? V'lama li sheyehei shalem. Why did it have to be a complete? Why did it have to be a complete? Sheyehei shalem.
Otherwise, you need kazayas.
Wait. Lama li sheyehei shalem. Why must it be a whole ant? Bikazayas, to make it equal to a kazayas. Mimenu, together with the others. Lilki, why not give him Malchus anyway? Mishum lav dishiratzim. Give him a Malchus because he transgressed the lav of eating a sheretz. Why do I have to say that the sixth lav is because of a kazayis? Why can't I give him malchus? Because he ate a whole sheretz.
Right.
Lekach asa achila de shiratzim. Because that's why it says by shiratzim, lo sochlu. You can't eat them. That's why it says the lav of achila by shiratzim. Lomar, to say to you, the ika kazayis harbe, to tell you that if a bug was a big giant bug and he had many kazasim in this bug,
Yeah.
it was a monster bug, you know?
Water bug.
No, it was a COVID
Yeah.
bug, whatever.
Okay.
And it had many kazasim, right? The
But it's still one. It's still one bug.
They were good. The ochal chad kazayis, and you ate one kazayis of it, chayev. You're still going to be chayev for eating a kazayis. Why did you have to tell me that it must be a whole bug? Why did the Gemorah have to say, and he added one whole bug? Why couldn't
That was
it
my
say,
original question.
oh, Maya looked in the Tosfos.
I can't read those.
Sure you can. You're
Okay.
reading it now with us right now. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay, good. So now he's going to be chayiv anyway. Why? And he's going to try to give an answer now. It's impossible to say the asa that the pasuk came to teach lomar, to say the be'inon the isbe kazayis. It's impossible to teach that the pasuk was there only to tell us about a kazayis. Ula olam be'inon sheyehei shalem, and the pasuk did not come to tell us that a kazayis is not going to make you chayiv unless it is complete. Deha leisa, because that's not so. Dinimola kol she'u chayiv, because even if you ate a tiny little ant, which is the size of a kolshu means it's the smallest possible thing.
Yeah. Right.
Still, you're going to be chayiv, right?
Yeah.
Right? Im kain, if so, al karchacha, you got to say achila asa lemidrash, that the pasuk of lo sochal is coming to teach you heicha de ika heizesim odalid, where the bug had either 4 or 5 kizesim, the kol chad minayu dechayiv, and each and every one that you eat is going to make you chayiv. So now we go back to the question. The question was, why did we have to say it's a complete? According to Rashi, live. According to Tosfos, dead. But why did we have to say it's a complete bug? Even if it's not a complete bug, if you eat a kazayas of a bug, you're going to be higher. So why did I have to say it had to be complete? You hear the kasha?
Yeah.
Okay. Says Tosfos. The answer. V'yesh lomar. All right, let's go up a little bit. Here we go. Where the arrow is. Here we go. V'yesh lomar.
Some say.
Well, good.
Is that a part? Some say that.
Yeah. Okay. The v'yesh lomar in Tosfos' terminology means there is to say.
Oh, okay.
We could say.
You know, the word yesh means there is.
Some.
No. Again, listen.
Okay, sorry.
Yesh li. What does that mean?
I have. Well, it's
Yesh
me.
li, there is to me.
Me.
Mhm.
Yesh li, there is to me. Right? Yesh
Yeah.
lo,
So-
there is to
But
him.
he does try to say that it's not 100% certain. It's like a.
Yashli as I have.
It's an
Well-
opinion. It's an opinion. It's an
Well-
opinion. Or we could say.
Well, of course,
All right.
of course, the humility the humility of Chazal is standing in front of us right now, because for sure, this is what Tosfos feels is the right answer, right? But instead of saying it in a way that I can guarantee you this is the answer, in his humility, which you can learn just from the language that he uses, you can see that he's got a certain sense of awe before the word of God. And so he uses the word v'yesh lomar, which
I was wondering all the time. Okay.
which
It's like saying Lani is Dati.
is similar, right? But Tosfos throughout Shas and Rashi too uses the terminology that the Balei HaGemorah have always used, which is the Im Tomar is a question and the Yesh Lomar is an answer. So I'm just translating literally what the Yesh Lomar means, but really it's implying that this is the answer. And so the Tosfos continues. The Yesh Lomar, and you could answer, or there is the answer, Lekach Nakat Echad Sholem. Here is the reason why it said one complete bug, the Ikalave, the Shratzim, because there are two at least. Lavim. Lavim means no-nos. Lav. There are at least two lavim in Shratzim, the lo nichtevu b'loshen achila, that are not written in the Torah with the expression of eating. It doesn't say eating, right? It says different terminology. Instead of saying don't eat, it uses a terminology of lo sitamu bahem, don't become tamei with them, or al tishaksu, it's not so, or don't make your souls despised. So therefore, that's the reason why by Shratzim it doesn't say the lashon of achila. Okay. The lo nichnevu b'lashon achila umei osam, and of those lo yilke ad sheyochel haberia shalema, and without tishaktu and lo sitamu, you wouldn't get malchus until you ate a whole behemoth, a whole sheretz, a whole ant, because al tishaktu doesn't say eating, and lo sitamu doesn't say eating, and therefore you'd only be chayev on a complete beria. Aval vadai, but no doubt about it. Eicha diksiv bei lav beloshen achila, where there is a lav that includes an expression of eating, lucky, you're going to get malchus. Af kishaberia eina shalema, even if the creature is not complete. Okay, so Tosfos answers. Why did the Gemara bring down a case where whether you go by Rashi's pshat that it was alive, or by Tosfos' pshat that it was complete? In both cases, it was a complete burial. Why? Because if it wasn't complete, then I wouldn't be chayev on two of the lavim, which is lo tishaktu and lo tatamu. That's why I had to mention that it was a full ant. But the truth is, you're 100% correct. Even if it was not a complete ant, you are going to be chayev if it's a kazayas, and if it's a tiny little ant, you're still going to be chayev for eating a full berry. So now, the Tosfos brings up aval kosher, but I still have a problem. Heicha yitztaref oso sholem likazayas nevelus. How can I add this little bug to a kazayas of nevela? V'halo, here comes a famous question. V'halo ein isra nevela chal ola. The isser of nevela doesn't go on to that which is previously forbidden.
Right, and it's called as
Oh,
we saw that last week with Yom Kippur, and yeah.
okay. The Hachanami Omar, the Masechta Me'ila, because that's what it says in Masechta Me'ila, Perik Kodshe Mizbeach, the Ein Iser Nevela, that the Iser of Nevela does not fall al Iser Behema Tameya. The Iser of Nevela doesn't fall on the Isser of a Behema Tameya. Let's explain.
Yeah.
You have a horse. Okay?
Yeah.
A horse is a Behema Tameya.
Yep.
It's a Tamei Behema. All right?
Yeah.
Behemo chaya.
It's Behema.
Well, okay.
Is that Chaya?
That's a question. Okay, whatever.
Really?
Okay. That's not my. That's not
That's buffalo. Buffalo's.
my. Hold on, but that's not my department. That's not my department. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Not my department, whether it's a chaya or a behema. That's not my department. Okay. A pig. All right. No. A pig is a behema today. All right. So a guy sits down to a sandwich of porky and mustard. Yeah. Now that and this pig was not shechted. I don't know if you know this. He was not shechted. I don't know. They took a knife and they stuck it in his brain. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Or they took a hammer, banged him over the head until he died. Okay, whatever. That's what they do. They stun him. Whatever. Okay. They torture him to death. Whatever. Okay. So now you've got a pig that's usher because it's a behema tameya. And now the question is, because it wasn't given shchita, is it also nevela?
No.
Now, so
There's no shechita in a pig.
okay.
No shechita doesn't apply. Yeah.
Okay. So now the question is, there's a machlokas throughout Shas. There's a machlokas. Do we say iser chal al iser, that there's one iser of a behema tameya, and in addition, there is no shchita by it. Consequently, it's also nevela. So now, if you eat a kazayas of this McDonald's, you are going to be chayiv not only for eating a behema tameya, you're going to be also chayiv for eating nevela. That's the question. Yeah. If you say iser chalal iser, that one iser falls on another iser, then you're going to be chayiv 2 times.
Yeah.
Right? But if you say ein iser chalal iser, you're not going to be chayiv. Okay, so that's the question over here in the Tosfos. Okay, Avol Kosher. Hey, Chayitztarev Oso Shalem. How can you combine that whole ant, the Kazayas Nevelis, to a Kazayas of the other ants that are Nevela? V'halo in Isa Nevela Chalala. The Isa Nevela doesn't go on the ant. The Achanami Omar b'Mesechta Me'ila Perikot Shemizbeach. The Ein Isa Nevela, that the Isser Nevela does not go Chol al Isser Behema Temeya. It doesn't fall on the Isser Behema Temeya. Yeah. Answer the Gemorah, answer the Tosfos V'yesh Lomar. You can answer like this, and I'll pick it up over here. V'yesh Lomar. Der Hacha Asya. Here, we're dealing with a case. Keman de Islay Isser Chalal Isser. Okay. Because our Manda Omar here, the one we're dealing with, holds Isser Chalal Isser. Like I said, this is a Shas Machlokas. Isser Chalal Isser or Ein Isser Chalal Isser. Now, the truth of the matter is, there are some circumstances where we say Isser Chalal Isser. And there are some circumstances where we say Ein Isser Chalal Isser. But along comes Tosfos and says, okay, in our case, we're talking about a Manda Amar that says, in this case, Iser Chal al Iser, the Ika Manda Amar Hasam, because there is such an opinion over there in the Gemara Me'ila that in terms of eating, the whole ant combines lilkos mishum nevela tameya utahora, to combine with the eating of something that's tameh and tahor. And since he holds you can combine tameh with tahor to equal a kazayas nevela, that means he says iser chalal iser, because he's allowing you to combine a little bit of a kazayas tameya to be added to a kazayas of tahora to make a whole kazayas of nevela, which means he holds that it's iser chal al.
So according to him, if you eat a pig, you chayiv twice.
Right.
But-
According to that mandama, you're gonna be chayiv too. Right. Okay. Now, what are the two exceptions? What are the two exceptions where we say iser chalal iser, where everyone agrees that iser chalal iser? So you should know that there are two exceptions. Okay, there are two exceptions where we do say that iser chal al iser. Let me tell you those. Let me tell you those two exceptions. Okay. One is when there's an iser kolel, an iser that's an iser kolel, and one is where there's an iser mosif. I'll explain the two. Okay. Okay. On Yom Kippur, there's an iser in terms of food. What's that iser?
Can't eat food.
Can't eat.
Can't eat any food. Right. What kind of food can't you eat?
Any food.
Any food.
Any
Okay.
food.
Any food. You can't eat any food whatsoever.
Oh, so somebody eats treif on Yom Kippur. Okay.
So if somebody eats treif on Yom Kippur, okay, he's not just doing the transgression of eating treif of food. There's a larger isser.
Right, eating Yom Kippur. Right.
That isser is eating.
Right.
Eating is kolel. Lots of foods, all foods. By his eating the vela, he's transgressing on the one hand, eating, right?
On the other hand, right.
On the other hand, he's also eating treif. Now,
So be
if it wasn't Yom Kippur, the only thing he'd be transgressing is
Right.
eating treif.
treif. But since Yom Kippur has a overriding kolel isser, in such a case, we apply the rule of isser chal al isser.
Okay.
That's called isser kolel. When there's an overriding kolel, it includes other things. So when there's an isser kolel, we apply the rule of isser chal al isser. There's another case where we apply isser chal al isser, and that is when there's an isser mosif. Isser mosif means where there's an additional isser added on to the original isser. Let's explain. All right? A man is married to a woman. Mazel
Right.
tov of the Chol.
Yeah.
Okay. She has a sister.
Yeah.
The sister is usher to him because he's not allowed to marry his wife's sister.
That's it, right.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as the wife's alive. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Even if they're divorced, he can never marry the sister.
Right.
Can't marry the sister. Okay. The sister goes and gets married. All right, to another man. She's happily married. Okay. If this first man who was married to the sister who's married, if this man who's forbidden to her because it's his wife's sister, she is now married to someone else. So she's now forbidden not only to him because of his wife's sister, she's also forbidden to him now because she's an Eshes.
Everybody.
She's a married woman. This is called an Isser Mosif.
Yeah, okay.
He now has an additional Isser. Everyone in the world has the Isser of Eshes Ish on this woman. He not only has the Isser of Eshes Ish on this woman, he also has the Isser of Achos Ishto. So this is an Isser Mosif. Now we can go back to the Tosfos. The Tosfos says, "V'af al gaf," and even though, and the Bach adds a little bit of word over here, bo, v'af al gaf, and even though, she'ein bo iser kolel, even though this iser is not an iser kolel like the Yom Kippur iser, right? Below iser mosif, it's also not an iser mosif like the iser of the woman who's married to another man. V'atam, the reason is mishum de motzinu de iser nevela chol al iser de chelev. But the reason that it's going to be usher again is because we find that the iser of nevela is added on to the iser of chelev va'afilu leman de leslei iser chal al iser, and even if there is no opinion of this person who says iser chal al iser klal aminan nami de temeim mitzarf emei taima chelev is asur. If the chelev is also nevela, it's iser halal iser. Okay? Consequently, since we have such an iser of nevela added on to the iser chelev, we can say that even this case of the nevela of the sheretz is iser halal iser. And so Tosfos fleshes out for us now the law of iser halal iser. Let's go very quickly to the next two little Tosfos. I want to finish this sugi today, so we'll start a new one next week. Now, the Gemorah asks, what if you have two shiratzim and one, and the three of them together add up to what?
Desires.
Right. And then the Gemorah said, what about if there was 1 plus 1? It would also add up to a kazayas, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right,
Also
right.
says in Tomar, and if you're going to ask, Umay chidushu b'shnayim yoser mi ba'eser. Why is there a bigger chiddush by 2 than by 10? Kivan de b'shnayim v'hu ika kazayas. Since 2 plus him make a kazayas. What's the difference if it's 2 and 1, 3 and 1, 4 and 1, 5 and 1, 6 and 1, 7 and 1, 8 and 1, 10 and 1? What's the difference? As long as it's exayis, yesh lomar, the answer is simply the Kamash Malon. He's letting us know revusa, a big chiddush, tvei, even more of a chiddush. What's the chiddush? Chiddush is this. All right, the kivan the ato keshehu chai shalem, because since now when it's alive, shalem mashlimo lekazayis, and it means even when it's dead, it combines with the kazayis. Av alpi she'im aya merusak, even though if you had chopped it up, kimo acher, like the other one, lo haya mashlim lekazayis. Look, if you have a bug that's 4 inches big, okay, and a kazayis is 6 inches,
Okay.
all right, and you got another bug that's 2 inches, right?
Yeah.
I take the 4-incher with the 2-incher, I put it together, and I got myself a kazayas, right?
Mhm.
Right?
If you match it up.
What? If they're whole.
A whole you chayv a whole anyway. Adam desires.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
whole, but the other one is not a whole one. The 2
Oh, okay.
is a ground up one,
Okay.
and this one is a whole one.
Okay.
So if I eat the whole one, I'm going to be chayv on the whole one. I'm not going to be
Right.
chayv on the
Okay.
kazayas if I combine it with the other one, unless it equals the kazayas, right?
Right.
Okay, now, if I would take this 4-incher and I would grind them up, would the 4-incher equal the kazayas with the 2-incher?
Yeah.
It should.
No.
No.
Why not?
Because
Well,
he's
when you
ground up.
chop it up, it's still the same volume, no?
No, it's not.
It shrinks? So you're telling me?
Excuse me, you never stepped on a bug?
Not that I know.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
What
an
happens when you
ant.
squash a water bug? He's less than a kazayas, no?
It shrinks.
It
Yeah.
shrinks.
Yeah.
It shrinks.
Yeah.
You knock the air out of a balloon, it shrinks.
Ah, okay. Yeah, air in there.
I shouldn't use bugs, I should use a balloon, because otherwise people would think I'm I'm an anti-animal rights activist.
Anti,
Animals.
Anti, very good.
anti.
Anti.
See, Mordecai got it.
I got
Yeah,
it. Anti. Right. God forbid. If I would do that, I'd be out of favor in this world. Animals have more rights than humans.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody knows that. If you don't believe me, just go online. You'll see. A lot of animals running around that seem to have more rights than humans. Okay. So now what we got over here, says Tosfos, is when you it wouldn't equal the kazayis. Avo betesnim, but with 9 ground up ants, the ikasagi, where there's a lot of them, afilu nisrasku kulam, even if all of them are chopped up, have a mashlim sheyesh mehem arbe, have a messiah, right? Gee whiz, that let me see what I have in mind. Have a mashlim, yeah. It should be have a mashlim, yeah. I knew it. There's a little piece missing over there. Have a mashlim, that's a lamed, even though it doesn't look it. Have a mashlim, or your mashlim, sheyesh behem arbe, because there are many of those, and therefore it would make a gazais. Last Tosfos. The low pligi, hoberavi hobezutri. Now, we said when they're large, right? So how many do you need to make a gazais?
2, 1.
1 or 2, right?
1, 2, yeah.
Right. Any question?
No.
What about 9?
They're the large? You don't
Yeah.
have any.
9. The more you have, you're taking smaller ones.
So then the less you have, we must be larger ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many did we go down to? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Kasha.
Yeah.
Why didn't it say 1? Says Tosfos. Perish beravrevi. It means echad, 1. The who and the other one together make a kazayis.
Kazayis.
The low yadana. What's the Zion over there? Let me see mine. The Kiva the Nochas. Okay. The lo yadana. I don't know why the Kivan the Nochas lahachi. Since you went down to 2, lema bechad levad loke. Why didn't he say you get malchus for eating 1 as big as a kazayas? I mean, the Gemorah went, the Gemorah went to all. Wait, somebody's trying to get in. 1 second. Give it just a minute.
Beryl says he's having trouble getting in.
I-
So you got off.
I admitted him 15 minutes ago. Okay, so he says,
What goes on now?
And now Beryl's on.
Lo yadana blo the kivan the nachas lahachi lema bechad levad loke sheish. Why didn't he say even if it's 1? Why did he go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and stop? Why not 1? So he answers the lucky mishum beria. Why didn't he say that mishum kazayis? And you get also because of kazayis and bola. He says v'shema. Here Tosfos uses a different form of answer. He says v'shema maybe lo shchiach the bechadi kazayis. Oh, we're dealing with an ant. When you're dealing with an ant, not likely that you're going to find an ant that's going to be a kazayis size.
Right. Right.
Partial. Okay, they're both sides. We now completed this particular sugya, and next week, in Yetz Hashem, we're going to begin from here. Ochal tevel u'maiser rishon. We learned in the Mishnah that if you eat unmeisered produce or meiser rishon that's not taken meiser, you're going to be chayav malchus. And the Gemara is going to go into the laws of truma and meiser and why you chayav malchus. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Yashikayach, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, Rabbi,
Thank
as
you.
usual.
I want to wish you all a wonderful good night.
Good night.
Yashikayach, Rebbe.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining. And we'll see you in Yitzchok Hashem next Tuesday night at the Yitzchok Rottenstein Shiur once again, and Thursday night at 8:30. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yeshua.
My pleasure. Good night.
Yeshua.
Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.
Good night.